Well, good afternoon. I'm Greg Williams with Kaiser Permanente and your 2016 Chairman of the Board. Welcome to the Douglas County Chamber Greystone Power Luncheon. I would like to invite Craig Owens, President of Wellstar Douglas Hospital and a member of our 2016 Chairman's Club, to come forward with a few remarks.
Thank you, Greg. It's great to see everybody today. Thank you for turning out for the luncheon, and thank you for the opportunity to sponsor it. Wellstar loves to be out in the community and gives us a chance to kind of update you on what's going on in healthcare. As you're probably aware, Wellstar is growing. We've acquired are in the process of acquiring a few different hospitals. As you know, the Tenet healthcare system and Wellstar have signed an agreement for Wellstar to acquire 5 Tenet hospitals in the greater Atlanta area. And so with that, in conjunction with the new agreement we have with West Georgia Healthcare in LaGrange, the organization is doubling in size in short order. Both of those acquisitions are either at completion or close to completion now. The West Georgia agreement, LaGrange Hospital, the affiliation documents were signed last week, so that is moving forward, and the Tenet agreement will be memorialized on the 1st of April, not April Fool's Day. It's really going to happen, and our organization is growing dramatically. Locally here, we've got a lot going on at Douglas Hospital. We are thrilled to be here serving this community. Thank you to the community for allowing us to serve your healthcare needs here locally. Our hospital is growing. You know, we have seasonality in the hospital business, and typically, you know, the winter season is when we see high volumes, high census, high ER visit numbers. And this winter was pretty typical. It was not a big surge. But right now, the interesting part is that we're seeing a huge surge in patient volumes at our hospital right now. And it's a little different for us, because by the time we hit March, we're usually seeing that volume start to move in the downward direction. But there's been an unexpected jump in flu. It's more of a stomach flu type thing. Sorry to mention this over lunch. But that has driven up our volumes dramatically, so we've been real busy at the hospital right now. One service I just want to highlight for you that we have already broke ground on behind the hospital, one of our medical offices. We are building a wound care and hyperbaric oxygen treatment facility. That center will take care of patients who often struggle with chronic wounds, having a hard time having those wounds heal. A lot of that is attributable to diabetes, which we have a lot of diabetics in our community. So we're excited to get that service up and running. We broke ground on it. We're probably, Shane, what do you think, about 90 days out, maybe? Yeah, about 90 days out from seeing our first patient in the wound care center. So we continue to move forward with services to meet the needs of the community. We have a lot of plans for the future to grow our hospital here locally, and you know, the mergers and acquisition, the consolidation that you're seeing in the healthcare industry is really enabling hospitals not just to survive but to thrive in the future, and to collaborate with physicians and other hospitals to make sure that our community, especially our growing communities, are well served. We left some little gifts on the table for you. One's a little battery charger type thing for your iPhone or your mobile device, and then we also have some little sports towels out there. So if you got a charger and you'd rather have a sports towel, find somebody and do a little horse trading. But we again appreciate very much the opportunity to sponsor today's luncheon, and I'll be around afterwards if you have any questions for me. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Craig. At this time, I would like Tanya Jackson with R.A. Lynn and Associates to come forward and lead us in our invocation and pledge.
Let us bow our heads. In honor of the Creator of the universe, we ask this day our coming together be blessed with insight, guided by understanding and wisdom. We ask to seek to serve this beloved community. Help us to use our resources wisely and make sound decisions that promote the collective good of all. We express our gratitude for our individuality and also for the common bond that keeps us all together. In sharing this meal, let us be thankful for the food we have received, the warm hospitality, and this opportunity to be amongst the living again. May our personal faith give us strength to serve and to love one another always. Amen. Let us stand for our pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. You may be seated.
It is now my pleasure to introduce today's guest speaker, Ms. Lee Thomas. Lee is the director of the Georgia Film, Music, and Digital Entertainment Office, a division of Georgia Department of Economic Development. After earning a BA in film at the University of Georgia and a MA in film from Georgia State University, Lee continued on into film doctoral program at NYU. She started in the film office in 1996, and after finding locations for 12 years, she was named director in 2011. Please join me and welcome Ms. Lee Thomas.
Good afternoon. Thank you so much for having me here today. We thought it'd be fun to kick off with a little video to show you some of the movies that have shot here in Georgia over the 42 years of our office. We'll start that now.
Hello. My name's Forrest Gump.
What were you thinking? Please, just help me get through this trip. Please, just help us get through this.
We have never seen anything like this. And we will never see anything like it again.
Atlanta Center, this is Southjet 227. We're in an uncontrolled dive descending out of 21,000 feet.
We lost the left engine!
Let it roll. Are we gliding?
Low terrain. 50. 40.
Oh, this is nice.
I have allotted us each $8 per meal. The tomato soup for me, please. That'll do it.
I'm going to take a full slab of the baby bags.
This is from the buffet, and it is on the house. Enjoy your soup.
I hate to tell you this, but you're going the wrong way on a one-way street.
Oh, I just love the smell of a new car.
Where are you going?
Taking it to the store, ma'am, like you said.
Well, why didn't you turn on Highland Avenue?
Piggly Wiggly ain't on Highland Avenue.
I know where it is, and I
right
want to
up here
go the
on
way I
Loop.
always go on
Look,
Highland
look,
Avenue.
look. Yonder the Piggly Wiggly. See?
Get ready to turn.
Yeah.
When Tallahassee goes Hulk on a zombie, he sets the standard. No fear. It's like art.
You got a purty mouth.
I say half. Which half do you want? You want this half? You want this half?
Medea.
any rocks. Don't hit him with your head.
Wait! Come back! Come back!
Wow.
I could have shot you in the heart or the head, but I didn't. I made peace with my sins. It's over.
Establish trust and drop the hammer.
Look at that adventure. I love that.
Welcome to Savannah.
I'm Ron Burgundy. Best thing I ever did was install this deep fryer in the Bago.
Ron, why do you have this bag of bowling balls in this terrarium filled with scorpions?
Muskrat, muskrat, candlelight, doing the town.
One day, out of blue, clear sky, I got a letter from Jenny, wondering if I could come down to Savannah and see her, and that's what I'm doing here. Down that way?
Down that way.
It was nice talking to you.
Just an old sweet song keeps Georgia on my mind. I said just an old sweet song keeps Georgia on my mind.
Thank you. You saw that Douglas County was featured several times in that with the Sweetwater State Park, Sweetwater Creek Park, I'm sorry, with Killing Season, and y'all had Smokey and the Bandit, which I didn't realize till I saw this great list of the filmography in a magazine. So y'all have had a lot of shows out here, I know, and Kill the Messenger, so it's exciting times. Let me tell you a little bit about where we've come from. Again, I've been at the office now for 19 and a half years, so it's a very different business than when I started. Used to be very location driven, spent a tremendous amount of time trying to find exactly the right locations for movies. We still get scripts. We get probably 3 or 4 scripts a week. We break them down shot by shot, and then we have a digital database that we pull from. But now it's incentive driven. All of the major studios have these big accounting departments. They run budgets for the places where they think that they will get the best amount of value for their dollar. And Georgia is now on those short list of the places where their money will go furthest. So we started in 2008 something called the Georgia Entertainment Industry Investment Act. It has been a great incentive for us. Basically, it's a tax credit. Some states give money. Georgia doesn't do that, but we do give tax credits for people doing projects in the state of Georgia. It's a very straightforward program, and the Department of Revenue will run audits for you, and they will give you, certainty on the tax credits. So it's been a very strong program for us. We've seen a lot of the neighboring states that have gone up and down. If you've heard about North Carolina, they had a great incentive, then they changed governors, then they lost their incentive, then they're rallying back. But Georgia has stayed strong, so it's meant a tremendous amount of business for us. Again, it's a tax credit, it's not a rebate. So most of the companies that come here to Georgia, they may not have income tax liability in the state. So what they do is they sell them to anybody in the state that has income tax liability. Mostly corporations, but also a lot of times you'll find people that have income tax liability, they will bond together and they will buy tax credits from these incoming productions. They can do that through brokers, or they can just buy them outright. So this is what has happened to us because of that. In 2007, right before we started our tax incentive, we were at $244 million worth of economic impact. By 2015, we were at $6 billion. And if you look, our office was started actually in 1973. If you saw in that video, you saw Deliverance, the banjo boy there. That was the starting of our office because of the money that came into Rabun County in a very poor part of the state. Then Governor Jimmy Carter started our office. We were one of the first film offices to try to get more business like that. So our office started in 1973, but all the way from 1973 to 1998, we did $2.5 billion worth. Last year we did $6 billion. So again, here's just a graph of where we've come from, how it's gone up every year since we've had this great tax incentive in place. But there's a lot of reasons why Georgia has been so successful. In addition to the tax credit, which is really important, Georgia just is a great place for filmmaking. Not only do we have like a history in the film business, like you see all the Burt Reynolds movies, the Driving Miss Daisies, and My Cousin Vinny. So we had a history in this industry. We had a lot of people already working in the business. We already known as a production center, but we have also diverse locations. You can pretty much shoot anything you want to in Georgia. With the North Georgia mountains, with the small towns surrounding Atlanta, metropolitan city, the coastline, we have a lot of different looks, so we can fill a lot of the script's needs. We have a lot of infrastructure. A lot more has come in since the tax credit started. Temperate climate, I mean, one of our biggest competitors was Michigan, but Michigan, you can't shoot year-round in Michigan. So, also, Hartsfield-Jackson is a huge benefit to us. I mean, with 26 flights a day direct to Los Angeles, the ease of shooting in Georgia is so much better than some of our competitors, including like Shreveport or Wilmington. So this just gives you an idea of what they spend the money on. I don't know if all of y'all can see that. This is the Project 42, which was the Jackie Robinson story. If you look at that lodging, 9,449 room nights. They kind of moved all over the state. So that's a lot of room nights when you think about we had 244 projects here last year. You think about what that does for the tourism industry here. Dry cleaning, $89,000 worth of dry cleaning, office equipment, lots of crew, lots of cast. So the money kind of goes throughout the state, a lot of different vendors. And because of the tax incentive, we have seen a tremendous amount of new infrastructure coming in the state. If you see up here, this is Pinewood Atlanta Studios. That's in Fayetteville. They have 11 sound stages built. They're building 31 of those there. Pinewood enables us to get projects that we never would have gotten in the past. You know, they did Ant-Man here. They did Captain America 3 that'll be coming out in April here. Right now they're doing Guardians of the Galaxy, but we could never attract the size show that we can attract now that Pinewood is here. So this 2 years ago was a cow pasture. So they're building 13 stages out there. All these other stages, the EUE screen gyms, it used to be the old Lakewood Fairgrounds. If you ever went to the flea market out at the old Lakewood Fairgrounds, that's what that is now. Atlanta Metro Studios will be going, is being built right now in Union City. Third Rail is the old Doraville GM plant. So a lot of new sound stages, which will make it so that we can attract a lot more projects. And you got to keep in mind, none of these companies get the tax credits. All the tax credits go to the productions, but these are here because we're busy. In addition to the sound stages, all of these companies are companies that have moved or located in the state of Georgia since 2008. So a lot of trucking companies, a lot of catering companies, payroll companies, prop shops, they're all moving here. And this is just another figure from MPAA companies, which is only 6 companies. $623 million were spent with over 5,400 vendors in 1 year. And that's pretty standard of what they're spending annually with over 5,000 different vendors in the state. Workforce. This has been one of our issues that has been tough for us because we have been so busy. According to the Motion Picture Association of America, again, 77,900 people are either directly or indirectly working in the film business in Georgia, but we don't have enough people. We have so many projects here that a lot of the shows that we're talking to have to bring people in. The governor did something called the High Demand Career Initiative, and the first one that he did that was industry specific was for the film industry. And at that meeting, we brought in people from lots of different companies, from Marvel, from NBC Universal, from Comcast, from the Weather Channel, to talk about the positions that they were having the biggest difficulty finding people for. So out of that came the Georgia Film Academy, which just started in January. It's been a very quick turnaround time, especially for government, but it's a partnership between the University System of Georgia and the Technical College System. It's overseen by the Board of Regents, and it's something that will fast-track people into the industry. They are going to places right now where there is already some sort of film programming going on, state schools and technical colleges. They're putting this program in place. It's a 12-week program in the first part of it, and the second part of it, you're actually working on a project. You're working on a project, and then you should be ready to go on a film set and start working. So it's a great program, and we hope that their workforce people will be able to put a lot of people on these projects that they're having to bring from out of state now. Camera ready community. Where's Breezy? Okay, so Breezy's going to be y'all's new camera ready person. Camera ready is a great program that we put in place. We have a very small film office. We just grew to 5 people. So for the whole state, it's tough. So 159 Georgia counties, we now have them all designated as camera ready. It means that when we get a project in, if we get a script in or a lookbook that we have something that we don't have enough of or we don't have great representation of, we have somebody in the community that we can say, hey, do y'all have a closed prison, or do y'all have a closed factory, or you have anything that looks like this? And we can shoot it to them, and then they can go and upload photos for us, or we can just call them and say, hey, look at these pictures. Did these look like, the way it still is? Because if we bring somebody out there, we don't want to find out, a place looks totally different than the photos that we've sent them. So it's great to have that on-hand experience, and it's great when a project comes to your community that you have somebody there that can help kind of guide them through your municipality, which you'll definitely know better than us. We used to spend a lot of times out there location scouting and taking photos, but because we're so busy in such a small office, we do depend a lot on the camera-ready people. And one of the things that, for years, all we've talked about is the money that a show brings in, but a lot of times it's the film tourism afterward that may be the biggest benefit for the state. When we see projects like, the Dukes of Hazzard shot 5 episodes here in 1979, that's it. People think they shot here for years and years, and it's still one of the biggest drivers to Newton County and Covington for tourism, all these years later. So we're seeing amazing things happen with Vampire Diaries being in Covington. Sonoy, The Walking Dead, has been down there now for 6 seasons, and it's changed the whole look of the town. Here is some of the numbers from, anybody Walking Dead fan here? Yes, a couple of them? Yeah. So in downtown Sonoy, they used to have 5 or 6 storefronts, and now they have 50 stores are completely busy, and they've built on another part of the town. They've redeveloped it because of all of the people coming in and the success of The Walking Dead. Here's the old pictures of the town in the top left corner, and that's what Sonoy looks like now. So dramatically different for being a zombie town. So because of that, we're focusing a lot more of our attention on the film tourism aspects of it. So we have a website, Come Tour Georgia. What we have there is behind the scenes interviews with the filmmakers talking about how great it is to shoot in Georgia, opportunities to win things from the shows. It may be walk-ons or set visits to a show. It may be props that we get from the television shows. But it's a great website, and the whole point of it is to drive tourism to communities and really, realize the impact of these projects when they happen in Georgia. And here are some of the resources if you're interested. Our main website is the georgia.org website, which is all of economic development. Then the Come Tour Georgia one is kind of more the fan website. If you're interested in listing your property, you can go to georgia.org, and there's a place there to upload your property. If it's your personal home, you can do it there. If you have a business, you can do it there. We also have something called Reel Crew, R-E-E-L. It's on our website. If you have a business that the film industry could use, and they use everything. I mean, it's amazing, kind of the breadth of what they need when they come into town. But you can list your information on Reel Crew. It's a free listing. Put it up there. If you want to work in the film business, again, there's a part for services and for vendors. It's all free, and you can put it up there. And then if you want to be an extra in a project, you can go to our Facebook page. They list extra opportunities all day long. So that's the film business in Georgia. All right, Shirley.
Thank you, Lee, for taking time out of your busy schedule to join us today. As a thank you for speaking, and a contribution will be made in your name to the Chamber Board Scholarship, which funds a scholarship for a graduating high school senior each year. The Chamber is launching a new signature event, Chicks Nights Out, presented by Ameriprise Financial Patty Puckett. This Women's Expo will be held on Thursday, April 21st at the Douglas Conference Center. We are focusing on all things chick. I don't know, Vic, somebody else should be making this announcement. We are planning a fashion show, exhibitors and vendor booths, heavy hors d'oeuvres, and signature drink, the Chamber Teenie, swag bags, and Chicks Night Out shirts. Our exhibitors and vendors have interactive exhibits with giveaways, like massage chairs, makeup demos, photo booths, mini manicures, and much more. This is a chamber-wide event open to all women. We only have 6 exhibitor spaces left, so they're selling out fast. Admission tickets are now available online at the Chamber website. For more information, contact Stacy at the Chamber. Stacy, where are you? Can you raise your hand? Please call her. It's filling up fast. So, thanks again to WellStar Douglas Hospital for sponsoring today's luncheon, and Greystone Power for their naming sponsorship. Have a great rest of your day.